AI is like a help to you. Actually, my dad wanted me to study mechanical engineering. Sometimes how you know what you're supposed to do is by knowing what you are not supposed to do. This can actually write an essay for me. Make sure you are studying something you like.
And then to someone trying to do something that their dad recommended for them, and then to someone who is finally doing what he loves, like the AI thing. What has been the role of your Christian faith in all of this?
I think actually what is like a shock for me is
What tools or advice would you give someone starting with AI today?
You have to calm down.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you know, on this channel we have conversations, talks and videos that are focused on life abroad, living and surviving as an immigrant, and also the various opportunities that are out there that you can explore. I am Precious and I am your host for today. On today's episode, we have a guest all the way from Nigeria. He's a student in Finland studying ICT. He's here today to tell us about AI, how he moved from not doing what his father wanted him to do to being an upcoming AI expert. Stay with us as we go through this conversation. It promises to be inspiring, educating, and life-changing. If you're just joining us, please don't leave without subscribing, liking, or sharing our content. It's going to help us grow and get our videos recommended to the algorithm. Stay tuned with us as we dive in shortly. Hey, Kelechi Uko, you're
Hello.
welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Can you please tell our viewers, our audience about yourself a little bit?
Yes, my name is Kelechi Uko. I'm from Nigeria. I've been living in Finland a couple over 2 years. I came to Finland in 2023, August. And yeah, like you said, I study ICT to be precise. And I'm currently exploring data science, or to be more specific, I'm exploring computer vision right now. Yes.
Right. At what point of your life did you think that this is something for you, ICT? Is it from before now or when you traveled?
I love to think of it like this. I knew I had passion for technical stuffs. In high school, secondary school, like we would call it in Nigeria, I loved mathematics and physics also. That was kind of giving me pointer to, actually my dad wanted me to study mechanical engineering. So I was like, engineering, something that requires calculation, that requires a certain level of mathematical skills. How I knew it was IT, I wanted to study it. So I had explored some other things. Sometimes how you know what you're supposed to do is by knowing what you are not supposed to do.
I think we should take note of that. How you know what you're supposed to do is by knowing what you're not supposed to do. Wow.
True. It's like filtering out till you find what you're looking for. And maybe I should talk about that later, but I started off studying something else.
Let's talk about your coming abroad a little bit, and then we would go into your career as an ICT expert or becoming ICT expert. Now, what were your first impressions, your biggest cultural adjustments when you came abroad?
First off, I didn't receive I didn't feel any cultural shock like that.
Nice.
Very, very noticeable shock. There were little things during the winter, how it's 3 p.m. and everywhere is already dark. But I already knew that
you were going to face that.
Yeah, I knew I was going to face that.
You made your research.
Exactly. So I'd already known some tendencies that would happen when I arrive here. I think actually what is like a shock for me is the driving. You have to calm down. You have to.
It requires more patience than.
Exactly. You have to. It's not this rushing. You calm down and you follow the rules and all of that.
All right, that's nice. But I think that has helped you to be able to have better driving skills somehow.
True. Yes.
How were you able to manage some of these challenges?
For some of it, time actually helps you adapt to those things. Time helps you adapt. And for the second part of it, I love to approach things like this with a mindset that it's an adventure.
No.
It's an adventure. What's life going to throw at me tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm just curious to know, and curious to know how I survived that. It was kind of fun for me, actually. I didn't like feel bad about it, or like I wasn't shocked that I got bad about it. It was a nice experience.
What would you say you love the most being abroad?
Amongst the many things, one that stands out is how it changes the way you think. To an extent, it brings a whole new perspective to life. It brings that exposure. It just shows a lot of possibilities. So it's like, for some people you would feel like, for me actually, it feels like you have been in a mental prison. And then it's just like you are let loose, and you are like, wow, this is actually, that's very.
All right, that's quite interesting though. Getting to your tech life, what sparked your interest in data science and machine learning?
Yes, I would start from the fact that I'm actually excited by new technologies, something that looks impressive. Something that looks impressive, that is just something to just look at and you're like, wow. I'll give an example of when ChatGPT came out. It's how people were so surprised that, man, so this can actually write an essay for me, for example, and be this accurate and be this. It was mind blowing for people. So in data science, machine learning, this was what actually drew me to it. I had looked at some other
Fields.
branches of IT. And I just wanted to be where there was innovation, visible innovation, and it's not just stuck. You can see changes coming up. I love to think of it that they've hit some milestones that now makes it so obvious. I wanted to be in a field where it's actually impressive work that is being done there, and the outburst of ChatGPT and the rest of them came last. I think ChatGPT is like 2 years plus now, getting to 3 years, if not more actually. It was around then I was impressed, so I knew that I want to know how this stuff works and what are the possibilities, what could we probably get to with this, what are its potentials. And that's what attracted me to, and then I started researching what's actually behind this, what's behind ChatGPT. It's a large language model that uses, I think the first version, or the one people got to know that was popular, was when it was in GPT-3. I think we're currently on GPT-5 now. These are the models that powers this chatbot. And I began to research how all of this works. What's like the fundamentals, and then I now knew that everything was built around data. They have been training these models and training over months and years also, and all of that. That's what actually drew me to data first. Drew me to data, and then I started exploring.
Someone mentioned in a YouTube video that the results you get from a research on ChatGPT depends on the version you use. Is that? Can you say something about that?
So, in that context, just the first version, for example, or the second version rather, is just a transfer of the first version with updated knowledge, because these models were trained to a particular, I think the first version was trained till maybe, I don't remember, but it was trained to probably like 2019. So it had data up till 2019. So anything that happened in 2020, it was not aware of it. They had iterations of this, and then they created more versions. They created the next version, which was much more smarter in logical reasoning, because they are trained it on more data also. That's the idea.
So it's like a concept of the available data in the different versions.
The more data you have, the more creative it can be, and the better it is actually.
Okay, so how do you approach the projects you do beyond the classes? How do you approach them considering that you also work, right?
I do.
How are you able to mix your work, your projects, and your school, your normal classes?
First of all, make sure you are studying something you like.
Oh.
Make sure you actually have the passion for what you are studying.
For what you're studying.
And you are not just there because someone forced me to. It's like you're going to be overwhelmed. Yet, how it works for me is that I learn at classes. I have some foundational knowledge. My inspiration that helps me do these projects is basically from, for example, I might be working and then because of something that happened in the workplace, like it just kind of it drops an idea in my head. Yet, and I'm like, with my current skill set, with what I know from school and everything, and all what I currently know, yet how can I solve this? What can I do about this? What can I do about this?
Most of your thinking is all about using what you study to solve a problem you face.
Yes, using what I've studied to. It's just like the alphabet, for example, A to Z. You need to learn A to Z first, and once you have learned the alphabet, you are able to now form words. It's more like learning the foundational parts that helps you to think. Yet that gives you that leverage of what are the possibilities. What could I? How far can I push this? Yet, because of those foundational knowledge, I now know what is achievable, what I can do. I like to just be spontaneous about it. I don't actually, for most of the projects I've done, I think not like I go and ask ChatGPT what projects can I do to add to my portfolio. Those projects comes naturally, actually.
Wow.
It comes like I see something, I'm like, maybe I should do something about this. What can I do? It's like a learning phase also.
And I think it's because you love what you're doing already.
True.
How can AI, because AI is just everywhere. For me personally, I wouldn't advise someone to stay at this time without knowing anything about AI. And of recent, we learned that AI now, you can create a whole website using AI. How can AI actually create opportunities for immigrants?
First, I would say, even with all these beautiful things that AI can do, what is still very much important is domain knowledge. For example, AI can give you a business idea, for example. It's limited in how much research it can do. Some businesses are not viable now. Some businesses might not work in a particular place. That model might work in some countries, might work for some people, but might not work with the specific environment you are in, or with what you have. That domain knowledge, you being able to think in that line already, AI is like a help to you. I like to look at it as an amplifier, actually.
That word, amplifier.
Yeah, it amplifies, it speeds things up like to a considerable level. But the way I look at it, you have the seed and AI helps you grow it.
Okay.
You have the seed and AI helps you grow it much faster.
What tools or advice would you give someone starting in AI today?
Initially, what I wanted to study was robotics, actually. When I was maybe like 7-8 years old, I wanted to study. Then I used to make like all this with cartons. Then I'll now put tire on it.
Bro, you have been science inclined from before.
Like I was trying to make all these little toy cars. I'll put the motor. I'll connect it to.
At what age did you say you were?
I remember this was like 7, 8.
Oh my God.
7, 8 boys.
You were really young and you were thinking that far already.
I think I just loved how those things worked. My dad wanted me to study mechanical engineering, and because of much of his influence in my career and the choices I made then, that's what I applied for in my JAMB and all of that. But life happened and I found myself studying polymer engineering. Like polymer and polymer is not even, well, it's not close to what I wanted to study. Polymer is still a good course to study, but it's not close to what I wanted to study. I didn't see my skill sets like matching what I needed to be in that field. So I had the opportunity to still come back into IT, and people just generalize it that AI, there's much different. It's broken down into a lot of subfields. And yet, what I would advise is that don't throw away what you already know yet, because that's where you actually start from. Don't throw away your current discipline yet, or what you are currently doing. Don't throw it away. That's actually an advantage yet. Now, basically what you do is that, I'll give an example. Someone that is in the medical field that has studied, let's say, biochemistry throughout the person's life, and the person wants to transition to AI in quotes. Yes. Now that biochemistry background is actually very, very needed, because now, remember I talked about domain knowledge. Yes. There are some researches that are going on now in that field, that someone that actually knows biochemistry and is trying to use AI is trying to join those two. You see that person is at a better advantage than someone that just knows about AI alone. That just knows about AI alone.
So you can actually merge the knowledge.
Yes. You can merge the knowledge. I like to think that AI is not just a field on its own, but it's a field that can be applied to different. For example, I'd use automotive companies as an example. You can see how things have transitioned. You can see that most of the work that is done in building a car are done maybe like by a mechanical engineer, by a mechanical engineer, done by a person that designs the other parts of the car, and all of that. Things have evolved to the point of self-driving cars now. Yeah, point of you have like Teslas and other brands. Yet you can see that to achieve those, you also need someone that has the domain knowledge of how a car operates before you can add those extra features on the car. Same thing with the example I was given about someone that has studied nursing. The person can now use AI, for example, in the place of research to speed up some of those research. Yet you can use it to limit repetitive tasks. Yet you have automations that speeds all of those up, and that's basically it. Do not throw away your knowledge already.
Find a way how to
an advantage. It's an advantage.
And amplify what you're doing already. That's nice. I hope we've all taken note of that. Going now to your Christian faith, I know that you're a Christian and you're born again. How has it actually shaped your mindset and your journey so far?
All of this has made me understand what the Bible talks about purpose. Yet, how the Bible talks about purpose. Yet, from while I was 7, building those toy cars and all of that, yet it was just leading me to where I am currently. You already have these tendencies, but you don't know what to do with them. You don't know what to do with them. But now it now shows you the journey of, from that point. It explains purpose in a way that's when it's just now you're like, imagine I wasn't so good at maths, for example, yet because now I'm seeing how that plays out in me understanding some of the things I work with, algorithms and all of that. Yet so it just plays a big, and so now it makes me see that, and all of those were actually for a reason. They
were pointers.
They were pointers. They were pointers to this.
What habits or value help you stay focused and motivated through all of this?
Whatever you're doing, just try not to be in the same position for so long. I mean, it's okay, it's natural to be stuck on something, yet it happens. But what you do with that, actually, there are some times that it's really difficult, that I'm not really able to focus much now on some other parts of my life. I think of it with this mindset that whatever you are doing, just try to do the best and make the best out of it. For example, I actually play the keyboard. I also do music. Yes, I do music, and lately I've not been having so much time to still channel as much energy as I would channel into my music compared to like 2 years ago or even this time last year. Whatever you see that you have the time to do now, just do it as much as you can. And also another habit, I would say, just be curious. Just be curious. Curiosity leads to so many other things. It leads you to read books actually. It rates you to read books, like understand thoughts, know how certain things happen.
I think you're already answering our next question, which was about like the advice would you like to give someone planning to get into, to travel abroad, to live abroad, or maybe to start up something that has to do with AI?
You need to be curious, actually. And I would say that whenever you feel stuck, because I mean, it looks interesting now to talk about AI, but when you start doing the actual work, some people will do it for 1 week and they'll be like, oh, I'm not doing it again. I'm not doing it again. Yet. Some people might find out that maybe this might not even be really what I want to do. And that's okay. But I think we need to treat these temporary setbacks as pointers. If you hit a roadblock on a certain thing, two things. It's either maybe you have to just persist a little bit, or it's a redirection.
Something different.
It's a redirection, but now you need to have a structure around that also. So you could tell yourself that this particular thing, this particular skill, I'm going to learn it for the next 2 months. Whether I hit a roadblock or not, I'm going to be on it for 2 months. I'm going to try my best. So at the end of that 2 months, you now decide. Of course, you would have hit some obstacles during that time that would make you want to back out. But you now decide that is this something I can still continue, or like, man, I'm just going to switch to something else. I'm going to switch to something else. That's the idea. Like, just treat all of this as a pointer. It's pointing you to that final,
the real thing. That's really, it's been really amazing having this conversation with you today.
Thank you.
So where can people follow you or connect with you on social media?
You can follow me on LinkedIn. I'm active on Instagram once in a while, and well, guys, it's not like you're not reading only LinkedIn. Not like you now see it's only LinkedIn. It's like there's a balance with this.
To the end of our interview, thank you so much for being here. We are really grateful, and thank you for the amazing answers. I believe it has really helped someone out there. It's redirecting someone who was thinking, oh, I need to get into AI, but I need to give up my job first. You don't have to give up your job. You need to find a way to inculcate AI into your job. And if you're someone who hasn't been focusing on AI at all, you're seeing it, what's going on here? Everybody AI, my dear, you need to be updated. You need to get into the boat and get along with the trend. Yes. Please, do you have any questions for us?
I'll just ask this one question. Tell us about Voice of Inspiration, just briefly.
Voice of Inspiration. I didn't expect this question. Basically, it's where we have conversations. It's a podcast, and it's something I've always had in mind to do, because, like you said, some things we have like passion are sometimes just pointers, like just the way you had the passion for mathematics. I've always had this passion to be a public speaker, talk and get people inspired, get people encouraged, because I always try to put myself in people's shoes. If I'm going through this, there are a million other people going through the same issue. I can be a voice to help them. That's why I started this podcast, and I'm hoping to get more great minds like yours on this show in order to who would speak out, like, because people like to listen to, if this person could do this, then I also can do it. So.
True. Wow. Amazing. That's answered it.
Thank you so much. Thank you
No worries.
once again. Guys, we've come to the end of this video. Thank you so much for sticking in to the very end. We really appreciate you. We love you all, and please don't forget to press the notification bell, subscribe, and like this video. And please share it with someone. Share it with somebody. Thank you, and see you in my next video. Bye-bye.
Bye.